Neck note. Insert for high. Let's continue with this thought, okay? What happens when you get high? Let's take two separate things. Let's take marijuana and alcohol. These are the big ones. There's a lot of other drugs. Okay, here's what happens. As you become intoxicated off alcohol, you lose your motor skills. That these things are apparent, right? You start losing your perception skills, all right, even to the point of dizziness, because you're letting go of this world, which means that if you close your eyes and plug up your ears, you might fall. You might lose your balance. Really, if you close up all your holes, you might lose your balance and your perception of what's leveled and off balance. So, as your eyes start, as your exterior senses start shutting down, the compensation factor kicks in. Your inner focus kicks in. See, the energy that you're putting out, monitoring the world, is now focused inward towards you. Now, you may think an intoxicated person is unaware and their brain is completely shut down. But let me tell you, if they drink to the point where they totally pass out, that person is not shut down. They are having a inner body experience or out of body experience even. They're not there. That's why they can't operate their body. Their mind is somewhere else. It's either focused internally or they have left that body on auto run, on cruise control while they go to another realm. That part right there is what you don't see. So you can't brainwash someone, communicate with someone at all if they're out of their body. They're what you call unconscious. See, conscious is awareness of this world. That's what they try to say it is. All right? Conscious goes to sanity then. The more conscious you are, the more sane you are. The more unconscious you are, the more insane you are. Okay? It all pertains to this realm, this world, this sensory perception. Drugs divert your focus away from this. Vampires hate it that are out here because they feed on that focus. Now, that energy you're putting out, when you focus it in, they frown. They try to shake you and wake you. Hey, talk to me. When you start self-contemplating and getting quiet and thinking within, vampires wake you up and say, hey, I can't feed off of that. And try to get you talking or listening to them. They try to plug into you. Tell them to step off in a nice way. And if they continue, tell them to step off in a firm way. And if they continue, tell them to step off in a mean way. And if they continue, get physical. Now, so this is what the high is. It is an internal elevated consciousness because you're applying more energy to your inner consciousness because you've shut down your outer. Okay? It's like when you're thinking real hard, they call it daydreaming. So it's a redirecting of energy. Thought is energy. You can't feed off of nothing. So they're not feeding off of thought or blank air, as you call it. So you have a tendency to yield to the program. The program is if you can't perceive it, it's nothing. It's not there. Well, there's no such thing as nothing. Something's everywhere. All right. You look up in the sky and there's no clouds, no sun, no moon, no anything. You say there's no thing up there, but there's something there, even if it's only air. You can look in a box and say there's nothing there, but there's air in that box. There's something there. So if you can't perceive it, it doesn't exist. It's basically what's happening to your subconscious as they press this into your conscious mind and it works its way down. That's not so. The most important thing you can't see. Air, you need to live. You can't see it. Okay. Thought, you can't see it. Okay. And there's just most of the important things you can't see. You can't see your internal organs working. You can't see your blood flowing, but it does. You can't see your heart beating. You can feel it if you stop and focus on it. But in natural life, you can't feel your heart beating as you go along, and it has to be beating really hard. Okay, so energy can't be seen. There's energies who can't be seen, perceived by everyone. But a creature that feeds on it can see it. You draw them to you. When you're feeling when you're feeling really good, the energy stretches out. Unlimited range depending on how good you feel, how strong you feel. When you're feeling down, the energy subsides all the way till it's like it's inside of you. Okay? And no one can even detect it. When you're on high, you walk into a crowd and people turn around and look at you as though they felt you come in. Most of those are vampires. They turn around like that and feel you come in. They detect the energy, and their mouth starts watering. When you're feeling low, you could be in a crowd of thousands and no one even notice you. They don't feel you at all. It's the energy, and it can't be seen by everyone. Vampires can see it, birds can see it, insects can see it. It's the reason you can't get that fly unless you strike it without looking at it first. You can't get that roach, whatever, because it seems as though soon as you ever notice, as soon as you look at one of those creatures, they freeze, like they can tell you're looking at them. They don't feel it, they see it. See, everything is two ways. There's not just light going into your eyes. There's energy coming out of your eyes and out of your body. Instead, picture your eyes as two big searchlights. And as they go across and the roach gets caught in this big spotlight, that's why he stops just like you would, or a deer in a headlight. Just can look at it, check it out for yourself. The insect stops just like a deer in a headlight when you look at it. You can't perceive these beams coming out, but the insects can. They can perceive a lot of things you can't because they're in a micro existence. All right. To an ant, your yard is a jungle. Okay, it's the Amazon. Just your yard. It's a different whole perception of the world. So it can perceive smaller things as things that are too small for you to see are really large to it. You can wrap your mind around that. Where energy exists and you can see it going through the air. Okay, I can see it, just not completely clear like a full-blood vampire. So it's just like smell of food attracting animals. So the good thing is you can control the shift. It's what they call in the animated series Dragon Ball Z masking your power level. Okay, you can turn it down and turn it up. See, it turns up and down based on your thoughts. Those other thoughts you call emotions. All right, those thoughts turn it up and down. The energy up and down like a volume thing. Low emotions, sadness, depression, and stuff turns it down. Okay. Um, High emotions, energy, happiness. That's why the vampires always want to see you smiling. They don't care how you really doing as long as you're smiling. For real, check it out. They don't. They don't care what mood you're really in as long as you're outputting good, clear, pure energy. I don't care how your day's going. Be cordial. Be civil. You can't let the public know what you're going through. It's not professional. All those smokescreen effects hide the vampirism. Okay? Feeding on your energy. Now, when you get high, it cuts off the flow of energy out, turns it in. You feel that's why you feel smarter, more aware. Your eyes are tight as I don't know what, and you can't even see good. And and you know what happens when you try to focus out? It's called short-term memory loss. In other words, if you try to keep turn from the inner focus of being high and actually try to focus on this world, it becomes a struggle, such a struggle that you have to let one go. And if you do it accidentally, you'll lose your train of thought. If you're sitting here imagining something, trying to dictate a story to someone, or tell a story to someone, and a distraction happens outside of your head, it can make you lose your train of thought because you're no longer focusing in, you're focusing out, and you can't do them both at the same time. When you do two things at the same time, as people say, hey, I can multitask, you're not doing any of them as well as you could when you're doing multiple things. Yeah, you may can do them, but you're not doing any of them really well. Okay. Now, singular, you can do it like a master. A dozen things at the same time, man, it's not quality work. That's not quality assurance. Anyway, so this is about getting high. Why it was outlawed, but in every form of it. I mean, things weren't killing you or whoever, but it's outlawed anyway. You weren't dying from weed. No one was dying from weed. No one was breaking into people's houses stealing things so they could go get a bag of weed. No one was sticking people up so they can get some weed, but it was still outlawed because it made you think outside the box. That's just a term, all right? There's no such thing as outside the box. It's just a concept laid on you. What it made you do was think better because your energy was focused on thinking, not perceiving. It was focused inward, not outward. And then there's another level you go to that you have to almost get so high you go to sleep because you got to totally give up this world and this perception to move. Your, when your body goes on automatic, it shuts down most of the senses. You're not smelling anything. It's still being recorded. It's just your recorder is shut down. You still, if your eyes were open, you could still see, but you have a habit. You've been told to close them. All right, sleep with your eyes closed, and you don't even know that that's the way it's supposed to go. All right, but your ears can't be closed, so they're on recording like a security guard measurement and say, in case something takes place outside and you need to come back home real quick. That's your security system. A loud noise will wake you up, will bring you back to your body. All right, because in order to leave your body, you have to set everything on auto. Now the halfway point is what you call daydreaming. Is low outer awareness, high inner awareness. What you call contemplation, meditation. You're still sort of aware of the outside world. You haven't completely let it go. Okay, your eyes can be open and all of this, but you have such awareness that sometimes people have to call your name twice to get your attention. You're that far away. You haven't left your body, but you're far away from what they call conscious. You're straying away from it when you meditate. You've seen people that you call totally insane who went out there into a daydream and didn't make it back. They're just stuck in the loop of that daydream, and you see them rocking back and forth, repeating the same thing over and over, or every time you see them, they're saying the same thing. They're caught in a daydream. They can't hear you. They can't see you. Some of them look like they can hear you and see you, but look at how they look at you, like you don't matter, or like you're not saying nothing, and they continue on talking while you're talking. That shows that they're not really aware of you. So that's what happened to those people that you see on TV or you see in your life who are have can totally shut out. They're trapped out there in a daydream. And every time you daydream, you take that risk. And the better daydreaming you are, the more imaginative you are. In other words, smart people go crazy too. They're more prone to go crazy than anyone else because they take trips out here regularly and they try to see how far they can go like explorers until one day they go drop down in a cavern they can't get out. That can happen. That's the risk anyone trying to be intellectual is going to take. You can meditate and get out there. Like meditation is like crack. I don't even know, I've never did crack. I heard them, they explained it to me and I watched them. They say that first high is euphoria, heaven. It's just a feeling that can't be described. And the addiction and the whole crack process is trying to recapture that first high. Smoking as much as they can, trying to get that feeling once again. Okay? Meditation can be like that when you reach a certain point. I was doing it and I got to a place of bliss. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't never want to eat again. I didn't care about children or living or being here or breathing. I didn't want to do anything but stay right there where I was. I was happy. I was content. I had no problems. There was no problems. There were nothing. Some people just decide to stay there. Well, you know, in a extreme high can do that. What you call make you lose your mind. This term doesn't even fit or describe it. You can't lose your mind. Okay, yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't even it doesn't even work like that. What you do, leave it on the park bench. It doesn't work like that. This is how it works. They didn't lose their mind. They got trapped in their mind. Their conscious got trapped in their subconscious. Can you now you can get some kind of gist of that term? I was searching to try to describe something to you that gives you something that resembles a picture or image, something you can go with. Imagine the conscious getting trapped inside the subconscious, and you will understand what happened to these people who got trapped in their daydream and they're sitting there repeating. Now you have sanitariums where these people are housed. They did not know this fact. They do not have this fact down. So the treatment's way off. They have mental problems themselves, calling themselves treating someone. It's just a job to them. Scamming the public. They're housing them. They're not making them better. There's no money in curing them and they leave. Our money gets paid and them our money comes from them being here. We're not motivated to cure them. We're motivated to tell our customers we're working on it and that they're doing better. So we allow them to get better and then we make them back worse. So high is not what you told it is, told it what you were told it was. It's been described to you now. You know why it's called high. Elevated awareness and consciousness makes them feel smarter. Ask anybody who ever got high, and if you got high, you know this is the truth yourself. Okay? So now you understand it. Now you understand the words and the pictures match. Now you understand what's going on with your mind. Now you understand intoxication, the pluses and the minuses. See, you just been seeing the minuses. Oh, he's drunk, he's staggering, he's knocking stuff over, he can't see, he can't drive. You don't see no benefit in it. And why he's so happy? Why is he so happy if it's all bad? Because as you letting go of this world, it just brings automatic happiness, piece by piece, to the point where I think when you die, you really are completely ecstatic, glad to be out of here. It's a relief. That's what that brief moment of meditation was. All right, I was free. I was detached. I mean, I didn't care about being a girl or boy, black or white, hot or cold, nothing. The only you can no one can describe this to you where you can experience it. You had to experience it yourself, and those who have will tell you he's right. I went there. I wish I could go back. I meditate constantly trying to go back to that point. It's might become my goal of meditation to get back to that bliss. It's like a drug. But this is what happened to him. This is what happens when you get high or intoxicated. It's like your legs getting cut off and your arms get strong. As your outer awareness, outer focus gets cut off, your inner awareness gets stronger. Someone had to do a paper on this. Someone had to do the thesis on this. Why didn't it make it to the public? Why wasn't it complete? Why isn't someone putting these theses together to add up to this? Because that's what they're going to say. Hey, I was already thinking that. I'm working on it. I got proof. And he was already on. But what I have is it all together. And so none of them was actually doing it if they didn't actually do it. I did. Not for an ego trip, not to say mine, not my, to lend credibility to what I'm doing and causing to happen. It has to have credibility. It is sound. No one's going to stick their head in a machine and let you tamper with it to fix their sanity. No one's going to let you tamper with their mind. You better have the reputation of a brain surgeon that never misses. Heart surgeon slash brain surgeon slash everything that is before you come messing with me. I knew this going in. Why do you think I'm doing all these incredible feats? Man, they're going to be overconfident in me. It's a requirement. Believe me, they don't say so, but I polled them, secretly researched them. They weren't happy with nobody. They wasn't happy with no president who ever been. After they're gone, they say he was better than the one that's here and all that. They wasn't happy with the mayor. They wasn't happy with no one in power, no one running things, not even the boss. Wasn't happy with their husband or wife, their children. The dog is fucking up. So I went to look to see and asking them what would make them happy. And they had almost zero answers. So it was easy to compile the few answers that I did get because they had almost none. And I took those and put them together and formed what you see. What I'm telling you is you can write a person down on a piece of paper, your dream ideal person, and become that person on the paper. You don't have to be you even. If you don't like you and how they made you and how you was raised, you can draw you and you can describe you on a piece of paper and become it. For real. You can train your body to be anything you draw. You can put on any costume you can draw. You can train your mind to do anything that you want it to do, train your body to do anything. You can decide who you're going to be on paper like you are making a movie character or a cartoon character, and then you can be it. That's what I'm demonstrating. Take a homeless, beat up old man with no teeth and all uh, completely broke, set him in Michael Jackson's throne, set him in the White House. Come on now, it doesn't get no better than that. That's the basically, if he could do it, anybody could do it theme. I saw that, I grabbed it, I used it. And the rags to riches theme, I saw that, I grabbed it, I used it. It's all there. It's what the people wanted. This has been a message from the Self-Preservation Society. Save yourself, sigh. That's why.